All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, Harakakadash, double honors to apostles, a great millstone, and salutations to your language you ought to be. It's your brother Hawaii. Got a quick lesson for you Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, and Israelites better shame of looking like heathens. Looks very well witness to the child of Heavenly Father. In the name of the Heavenly Father, is Yahweh, who the world really calls Jehovah, God of Yahweh. In the name of the Heavenly Son, is Yahweh Shai, who the world really calls Jesus Christ, or Jesus Christ, or Yeshua. So I got a quick lesson. Any other preachers come out, you already know it's Holy Spirit, why you believe it or not. And really, it's going to be a rant. You know what I'm saying? Really, it's going to be a rant, because it came to mind because, we got enemies in the truth. You know what I'm saying? And some of them, are very crafty and stuff in their thoughts to have us messed up. And you're going to have certain individuals. Matter of fact, let me read this. This is Ezekiel 3:16. It says, "And it came to pass at the end of 7 days that the word of Yahweh Shem Yahshua came unto me, saying, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. It says, therefore, hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me." Right? So, the Lord has set up certain men and stuff to give warning and stuff to Israel. You know what I'm saying? Negroes, Latinos, and natives and Israelites who outward appearance instead of a heathen. And the thing is that, we're going to have a lot of people and stuff who's not going to believe, as it says in Romans 3 and 4. You know what I'm saying? Let every man be what if some don't believe? Would that make the faith of the Lord without effect? God forbid. And it also says in the fourth verse, I'm quoting these, it says, it says, let every man be a liar, but let the Most High be true. You know what I'm saying, right? So, not everybody going to believe. You know what I'm saying? Some people going to look at you this way, that way, and whatnot and stuff. And that could be a stumbling block to be fixated and stuff just so it could cause them to go off. You know what I'm saying? Because a certain level of pride. You know what I'm saying? Because the scripture says in Sirach, grab it, Sirach 18 and 27, or Ecclesiastes and Apocrypha 18 and 27. And it says, a wise man will fear in everything, and in the day of sinning, he will beware of offense, but a fool will not observe the time. And what you're going to have is that you're going to have certain individuals where it's like, well, I think about you like this and think about you like that. So I'm going to do this and do that to you. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't consider you as being one of me. You know what I'm saying? Or the same as me. So the thing is that there's actions that they will commit, and all they doing is committing sin. You know what I'm saying? And because this, it's like, you got people, it's like, oh, I can do whatever I want to and stuff. It's respect to the persons. I'll do this to you, but that same thing that I did to you, I won't do it to them. You know what I'm saying? We got to check ourselves as men of the Lord and stuff as well when it come down to those things. Now, you also have this too. You got certain individuals where it's like they just willfully ready to fuck you up. So it's like, you ain't supposed to eat pork. All this, like, this man, he over here, he asking for, tongue tacos and whatnot and stuff. They said that he ain't supposed to eat. We know that this individual, he said that you're not supposed to eat raw meat, whoop the woo. But guess what? I ain't gonna cook it thoroughly. I'm gonna cook it halfway. Say that it's supposed to be cooked that way, and when he eat it, he going off. You know what I'm saying? You gotta watch out for individuals like that. You see, because even on their end, what they're doing is that uh, they're disturbing the peace. Now, when I say disturb the peace, clearly you didn't want raw meat. You know what I'm saying? Right? Because who the fuck want that stuff? And if that's the case and stuff, it needs to be declared in a restaurant that if somebody wants something medium rare, well done, that needs to be asked. You know what I'm saying? From the from the restaurant, because if anything happens to that person and they get sick, you got a lawsuit coming. Unless you got what they call it, a good Samaritan and stuff, and it's like, or not good Samaritan. It's like, well, I don't really worry. I'm not worried about this. I'm not worried about that. You know what I'm saying? It's cool and stuff. Just next time, can you whoop the wool? Can you replace this with the wool? Right? So, you'll be a peace, being, there's disturbed the peace You know what I'm saying? Also, when it comes down to themselves. And I know that sounds kind of weird because it's like, I'm not messing up the peace for myself. I'm just messing up the peace for you. And it's like, no, you're messing up the peace for yourself. It's because now you're committing a willful sin. The scripture says in Leviticus, this is Leviticus 19 and 17. And it says, thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart. It says, thou shalt not in any wise rebuke thy neighbor, in any wise rebuke thy neighbor. No, it's like it says, thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor. It says, and not suffer sin upon him. Right? So, for my message is, for what I'm speaking on, is that, you might have Israelites where it's like, well, I'm gonna cause you to do this and to do that. You know what I'm saying? But then you'll be in violation of this scripture. And I know I'm using the word violation stuff, and I know they use it in the gang, but we're not gang members. We're not in a gang. But I'm using that terminology and stuff because it is a violation and stuff. It's a breaking. It's a violation stuff when it comes down to the scriptures. And the thing is that you're not supposed to cause another to fall when clearly when it comes down to those scriptures. I mean, clearly when it comes down to doing right, you know what I'm saying? Doing right, you could, clearly it's like it. Let me get my thoughts together. You know what I'm saying? Uh, uh, you don't want to, you don't want to, uh, uh, you don't want to do wrong. You know what I'm saying? It's like, well, I ain't doing it and whatnot and stuff, but the actual action that you're doing and stuff is also considered as a sin. You know what I'm saying? Because you're putting sins upon, you causing another and stuff to fall. And when you do that and stuff, and you know what the scripture is and stuff, and you thinking that you clear, when you thinking that you clear stuff, guess what? You're not actually clearing stuff. You're doing a willful act. You know what I'm saying? You willfully sinning now and stuff because you know better, you know that it's wrong, and yet you still doing it. Right now, I also want to say this too. Even when it come down to, well, I made a point of stuff when it came down to Joseph. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't dealing with Pharaoh's wife. You know what I'm saying? And she a heathen. We know that they're not underneath the law. They can do whatever they want. But when it come down to it and stuff, the thing is that so like for the sound. The thing is that they. The thing is that just because they're not underneath the law, you got to understand we're still underneath the law. And well, we underneath grace. We understand that the laws has been abolished. You know what I'm saying? But you can't just willfully do anything and stuff because guess what? It's still going to be judgment and stuff to follow. You know what I'm saying? Within this grace period. And within this grace period and stuff, you make sure you get yourself on point. You don't just fuck around. You see, if your landlord and stuff, you were short on the money and stuff, and they already have like a little, you can ask them, it's like, look, shit ain't really falling on certain days and stuff, or how I want things and stuff. So therefore, what I'm saying, can you give me a little time and stuff? They give you that grace period time. You don't fuck over that money. What do? You make sure that you get that money in and stuff so you can keep a roof over your head. You know what I'm saying, right? So it's the same concept it's the same concept and stuff when it comes down to the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? Just because the law was been abolished doesn't mean you just stay wicked and whatnot. Because what you gonna have faith in wickedness, you ain't gonna get saved. You see, you know, you ain't gonna get saved. You see, and if you want to get saved and stuff, guess what you got to do? You got to follow the. You still got to present that image that He gave onto us and stuff in the Book of Genesis. You see. You still got to present that. You still got to represent that. You still got to show. You see, So once again, back in that Sirach 18 and 27, it says, "Wise men will fear in all things and stuff." Because here it is. It's like, well, I could do this to this person, do it to that person and stuff. But the thing is, the certain action that you're doing and stuff, what I'm saying, may be a sin that will fall upon you, even though you're trying to do it to another. You see. So you got to watch out for that too. And this is how you become blameless. You know know what I'm saying? You know, you got to know all aspects of when it comes down to sin. You see, you know, because even I bring this out too, and I'm just gonna quote it. It's in 1 Samuel's the 11th and 12th chapter. Read them both. When it came down to King David and stuff, he ain't sit up here and he ain't when it came down to King David, he ain't sit up here and take the knife and stuff and kill Uriel by his own hands and stuff, but he caused him to be put to death. You see, so guess what? The Lord still blamed him for that murder. Because it's like this, the murder would have never happened. The murder would have never happened and stuff if he would have never came up with the plan and stuff to get him killed. You see, because you gotta, because even when it come down to Yahweh Shai, when it come down to the judge Pilate, which was a heathen, uh, the judge Pontius Pilate and stuff, which was a heathen. The thing is that he wasn't supposed to he wasn't supposed to uh, uh, he wasn't supposed to well, this is what he did. Because the people was furious and stuff with him and stuff, you know what I'm saying? And they was just moved by the wicked Pharisees, Sadducees, priests, and lawyers and scribes, you know what I'm saying? You know, who was jealous of Yahweh Shai and stuff. And pretty much it was like, you know, kill Yahweh Shai, kill Yahweh Shai, kill Yahweh Shai. And while Pontius Pilate kept asking, you know what I'm saying, you know, what is it that he done and stuff? But the wicked of the circumcision and stuff, what they was doing is that they was going in the midst of the crowd and stuff, people who was coming to this hearing, you know what I'm saying, trying to see. It's like, matter of fact, it's like this, you know, you know, like you'll get that letter in the mail and whatnot and stuff, and they saying you got to do jury duty. You know what I'm saying? Right now, say you ain't getting no letter, but you just got random motherfuckers coming through trying to see who finna get judged or what's going on, like how you watch people's court and all that shit, right? It was like that, but it was public. So you had people there, and you had the wicked of the elite, wicked of the circumcision, Israelites who knew what they were, who knew about the laws, right? And they was going through the people and stuff, and bigging them head up and stuff to make Yahweh Shai look more evil, so he can be executed to be put to death because they was jealous of him. So you know, so pretty much, uh, uh, Pontius Pilate, he already figured and stuff. It's like, oh, he innocent, he cool. You know what I'm saying? You know, but he already knew if he would have let Yahweh Shai free, not only would they probably killed him because the crowd was riled up with the wicked Pharisees, Sadducees, priests, and lawyers, and scribes, but then also, but then also, uh, uh, but then also, uh, 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 also, uh, 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 body, bro. But also, uh, stuff ain't on, brother. Just closed off today. So pretty much, uh, 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 so pretty much the stuff Pontius Pilate, what he did was like, he was like, look, he physically took his hands and put it like in a washing area, in a washing area and whatnot and stuff. You know, he pretty much washed his hands physically and stuff. And it's like, I'm clear from the blood of this man and stuff. But guess what? You responsible for Yahweh Shai's death as well and stuff. Because since you was in a situation of judgment, you knew that he was innocent and stuff. And you was worried about the people putting you to death and stuff because you was on Yahweh Shai's side. You know what I'm saying? You know, and the thing is that that blood is still on your hands. You see, you know. You know, so you gotta watch what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you might be fucking somebody else up, you know what I'm saying? But in the midst, you'll be fucking yourself over too. You know what I'm saying? Because you gotta watch, for us, because in order for sin to come about and stuff, the action got to be there. And matter of fact, let me get this. This is James. This is James 1:13, right? And it says, actually, I'm gonna get this for you. This is First John. This First John 3:4. And it says, whosoever committed sin transgresses also the law, for sin is a transgression of the law. So let's get to James 1:13. And it says, let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of the Most High. For the Most High cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempted he any man. And the only one whose job is to tempt you is Satan, the spiritual demon Satan, right? It says, verse 14, it says, but every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed. Yeah, we gonna fuck this man up and stuff. He talking about he ain't supposed to eat pork. Guess what? We gonna say that it's beef or steak and whatnot, and all we did was chop up and grill the pork a certain type of way and stuff, and he ain't gonna even notice it. Guess what? Now you going off because you suffering sin upon another Israelite. You see, you know, you know. It says, verse 15. It says, then when lust have conceived, it bringeth forth sin, and sin, when it is finished, bringeth forth death, because the wages of sin is death, as it says in Romans 6:23. As it says in Romans 6:23. So when it come down to it. When it comes down to and stuff, everything you gotta watch what you do. You know what I'm saying? You know, because even if you do it to a heathen and stuff, the thing is, it's still gonna be an act of sin on your part if you do that. And that's what you gotta watch out for and stuff. There's only one way to be blameless, and if you want to be blameless and stuff, then get most definitely and stuff. Watch out what you're doing. So I hope this video was edifying. I'd like to give all honor and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yal Shabu Habarakakodash. Number one is to apostles, a great millstone, and salutations to your leg with you all to be. Shalom, wa Baba Ball, Kwam Yasharala.